guys, it's Michelle, and I've officially finished my 6 weeks of trying to become more literate in Chinese. If you watched my last video about learning Chinese as a Chinese American, I made it about 4 weeks into this whole journey. You know how much of a struggle it was, not just because Chinese is hard, but because I am Chinese American. There are certain things that are expected of me by other people and by myself largely. If you didn't watch the video, I'm gonna put it somewhere up there. Go click on it, watch it. But for brief background, I went to Chinese school when I was a kid, so I do have somewhat of a foundation and a lot of the basics are stored in the back of my brain, in my subconscious, you know. But I really hated learning Chinese when I was young, and now, just like my parents said when I was like 10, I regret it very deeply. So now that I've dropped out of NYU and have 8 months until I go to Minerva, I decided what better time to improve my Chinese and reconnect with my roots. So right after the holidays, I started studying Chinese with my mom. The first 4 weeks consisted of her explaining characters that were fundamental to the Chinese language and also very connected to Chinese culture. This was actually super interesting because it's not something that I really would have been ready for when I was a child, and I definitely appreciate it more now. But this is my notebook to give you an idea. So you can see here that she has like the 3 talents, and basically it's like the sky, people, and the earth. And then she taught me the 3 lights, so from the sun, from the moon, and from the stars. So I learned all of those characters, and as you can tell, it's all very nature related. After 4 weeks of that, I had enough basics, and it was really evident that what I needed to move forward was to start reading. The problem was all the things that I was interested in reading was way too hard for my level, and most of the things appropriate for my level were like very boring children's books. So we actually started using this curriculum that I did when I was like 8 years old and absolutely hated, which is called Ma Li Ping. It was basically designed by somebody who studies education for heritage language learners of Chinese. Essentially, it was made for kids like me whose parents want them to learn the language. So yeah, the stories are still a bit childish sometimes, but because I'm learning it now, I went through it very fast, and it actually started getting kind of good. To give you a basic idea of where I was at in the beginning of these 6 weeks versus now, at first, if I was looking at a text, a book, like whatever, I could probably only pick out about 5 characters that I knew, and it didn't really connect. Now I can independently read over half, if not like 80-90% of children's books and texts from my grandmother. She's super happy about it because now she can send me articles and I actually know how to respond. It was a very difficult process, but I actually filmed bits and pieces throughout. So if you want to kind of see a live action, like time lapse of these past 6 weeks, keep watching. This is my first official day of self-study. My mom, thanks mom, has been teaching me some Chinese for a couple days now, and I'm finally getting around to making flashcards. In the first few weeks, my mom would write down and explain the linguistic backgrounds of some of the more important characters in the Chinese language, and I would copy them into my notebook. After 1 week of Chinese, I have learned 92 new words. New, like I can read these now, because I was literate before. I tried as best I could to review my flashcards that I made at least once a day for an hour during weekdays. This is me during those review sessions with my mom, copying down words. And we also use this app, which was very helpful. It's like a Chinese dictionary app called Pleco. Week 2 of learning to read Chinese. 125 new words. It's getting pretty difficult. All the times I was forced to go to Chinese school really helped because that shit's coming back real quick. One time we tried to improve my listening and speaking skills by watching the news. Wasn't going too hot.
急性的 disease 就是 acute 就是说这个，所以他就说这个平时有慢性疾病的，他要一感冒的话，这个人也不好治，你知道吗？
Hello, it is the end of week 3 of learning Chinese, and this time I learned 140 new characters. It's getting a bit more difficult, but also more relevant. For example, this is Guan, and each character forms different words with other characters. Lu Guan is a hotel, Lu is travel, and Guan is a special place, so it's like travel place for travelers. Can Guan is restaurant, Tan is meal, and guan, once again, is a specific place. So meal place is a restaurant.
It's like midnight right now and I'm trying to memorize all these cards. I've kind of hit a block, you know? I'm just feeling like, are these cards even useful? Because I'm seeing a lot of these words like out in the real world in books and shit, and sometimes, most of the times, I'm like, I recognize it. It's in my cards, but what is it? Hello, everybody. It's officially been a month since Mission Michelle is Literate in Chinese has started, and this week I learned 85 new words. A little bit down from previous weeks, but I also had low-key a breakdown. Not a breakdown, but like just a little falter in confidence this week, so things went a little more slowly than usual, but that's where I'm at. Just casually weighing some flashcards to count how many there are, you know, math.
Hey guys, I just finished week 5 of learning Chinese. I have 115 new characters now, and we just weighed this whole stack that I learned from last month, so weeks 1 through 4, and it was 442. So in total, I know about 550 characters now. Hello! We have reached the end of week 6, the final week of Mission Michelle wants to be kind of sort of literate in Chinese and is going to make a concerted effort for the first time in her life to do so. Yeah, we're at the end of those 6 weeks, and this time I learned 113 new characters. And that brings me to a total of 670 new characters within the span of 6 weeks. It takes about 1,000 characters to have a pretty solid foundation for reading, and 2,000 or 1,500 characters, I believe, to be considered fully literate. So I'm definitely not all the way there yet, but 170 characters is much better than like the 20 or 30 I started with. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching my journey of my first attempt at consciously improving my Chinese. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, share with anybody who might be interested, comment down below your thoughts, give the video a like, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!